guys, welcome to another episode of Sabrina Recommends. I have 4 more books to go through with you this time, so let's get started. The first book I'm going to talk about today is the 3rd book in the Magic Treehouse series. It's called Mummies in the Morning by Mary Pope Osborne. This series is great, especially for you guys in the summer reading program who have to read chapter books. If you're new to chapter books, these chapters are super short, there's lots of pictures, and they're really fun to read. So, the premise of the book, these kids have a magic treehouse that lets them go back in time to different time periods. In this book, they're going back in time to ancient Egypt, where they find themselves in the tomb of a mummy queen, and her ghost is wandering around in the tomb looking for a specific book. They help her find it so that she can pass on into the afterlife. This book is really, really fun. There are so many of them to choose from, so anything you're interested in you can find. I'd recommend them for anywhere from like 6 to 10 to 12 to 15 years old. They're super fun. But yeah, it's a great place to start if you're starting out on chapter books. I give this book a 4 out of 5 for sure. The next book I'm going to talk about is called Strange Birds, A Field Guide to Ruffling Feathers by Celia C. Perez. This book is about a girl named Lane who has been sent to Florida for the summer to stay with her grandmother and is being encouraged to join a group for young women called Miss Floras. It's a debutante kind of thing, and it's just not her style at all. That's not what she wants to do. So she decides that she is going to find a few girls at school that she thinks are cool. Just as summer's about to end, and she's going to leave notes for them, inviting them to her grandma's house, and once they get there, she lets them know that they're starting their own group. Now, at first, these girls have really nothing in common, and they think, this isn't really gonna work out, until they find common ground, which is that they all don't like the Miss Flora's group, and they found out that the Miss Flora's group uses a hat to crown the Miss Flora that has bird feathers that are illegal. And so they decide that they're going to do everything they can in their power to try to figure out a way to get them to stop using that hat, whether it's by stealing it or tricking them out of it or whatever it's going to be. And that's how this group decides to bond. It's kind of a weird premise, but this book was super fun to read. All these girls are such different characters. I really, really enjoyed it. I would say it's for ages maybe 8 to 12. I really enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was good. The 3rd book I have to talk to you about is called When You Trap a Tiger by Tay Keller. This book focuses a lot on Korean folklore, which is really cool. So the main character, Lily, and her family decide to go to live with their sick grandmother so they can help take care of her. And while they're there, their grandmother tells them lots of stories about Korean folklore and parts of her childhood, including a story about a tiger. One day, when she's least expecting it, the tiger appears to Lily and gives her a proposition. It turns out that the tiger knows lots of information about her family, some family secrets, and a long time ago, her grandmother stole something from the tiger, and the tiger wants it back. So he says, you bring back what your grandmother stole from me, and I'll make her better. And this isn't a fun tiger, this is a scary tiger, and it's going to take lots of bravery and lots of skill to be able to do what the tiger is asking. So with the help of her friend and her sister, she has to decide whether or not she can stand up to the tiger and get her grandmother to be healed. I thought this book was really, really fun. It's a pretty easy read, even though it's kind of long. I think anywhere from 8 to 12 years old would really enjoy it. And I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good. All right, the last book I have for you guys today is called The Ghost in Apartment 2R by Dennis Markle. This book was definitely the favorite that I read this time. It is probably for like 10 to 15-year-olds. It's super easy to read, but the ghost is a little bit scary, actually. So the idea is that the main character, Danny, his brother goes off to college. They live in a 2-bedroom apartment. So Danny's been sleeping in a closet and is very excited to get his brother's room. But because Danny's brother's college is expensive, his parents decide instead to rent that room out as an Airbnb. So Danny is obviously upset, but it's not a huge deal until guests start staying there and a ghost makes an appearance all of a sudden. And it becomes very clear to Danny that the ghost doesn't want people staying in that room. So, with the help of his two friends and his grandparents, he decides that they're going to figure out who the ghost is, what the ghost wants, and how to get rid of the ghost. I loved this book. It was super funny. It was really easy to read. It was a little bit scary. I definitely gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This was my favorite one I read this time. Thank you guys so much for watching and for listening to me talk about these books. Don't forget about summer reading. You have until August to read 5 chapter books or 10 picture books based on your grade level. Come see us. Come let me know if you need recommendations for a chapter book. I'd love to help you out.